Attention, Bulls fans. The Chicago Bulls suck. The Bulls lose their fourth straight game today, this time against the Charlotte Hornets. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily Chicago Bulls podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every single day. I'm Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls Central and Chicago Bears Central YouTube pages and podcasts. And that is Pat the Designer, host of the Windy City Breeze. Pat, the Chicago Bulls suck, man. But before we talk about that, this episode is brought to you guys by FanDuel. From the first whistle to the final drive, FanDuel makes the NFL playoffs even more exciting. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. Just visit FanDuel.com to get started. I don't know what to say about this game, Pat. The Bulls, I guess if we're going to say anything positive, the Bulls did come back from being 12 points down, but they were only down because of their own lack of execution. And there are a lot of things to talk about in this game, but I want to focus on this first, and we can branch off to wherever it's going to branch off to. The Bulls keep losing games because of lack of effort. And the one thing that I think is a perfect example of how the Bulls lacked effort in this game, they ended up losing this game by 2 points, right? But they gave up 14 second chance points in just the fourth quarter of this game. That's it. 14 second chance points in the fourth. They had none. If you just would have kept them off the boards a couple of times, you could have still won this game, despite all the Bulls' flaws, the lack of execution, the questionable coaching by Billy Donovan, not calling the timeout after a 12-point run, all those things. You still could have been in this game. You still could have won this game if you just showed a little effort. How do you feel, Pat?
Yeah, no, 100%. This game was I call this a game of situational awareness, and the Bulls have none of it. They turn it on when they want to. They think that they're a team that they're not. They can time and time again, we talk about them giving up runs. They gave up a run in the first quarter and put themselves behind the 8 ball, and they never were able to really get control of it again. Yes, they did end up taking the lead, but at the end of the day, you have a Bulls team who I don't even know if I could say effort. I guess it's kind of the same thing, but it's like a lack of awareness in when you need to put that effort forward. You don't need to turn it back on when there's 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter and say, hey, we might actually lose this game. We need to try and go out there and do what we need to do to get wins to find a way to beat a Charlotte Hornets team. And you watch them do this over this entire homestand. 1-4 in the homestand. The only one you got was versus the Washington Wizards, who you dominated. In every single one of these games, we can look at the exact same way. This is a team who can't defend the home court and shows the least effort when they're in Chicago. You know, we're the only team in the East in the play-in and or playoff race with a losing home record.
That doesn't surprise me.
8-15 at home.
Yeah. And this is after an offseason in which AK literally at media day said, we want to go back to being more of a home court threat. We want to have a home court advantage. Well, shout out AK. You know what? AK leads the league in not achieving mediocre goals. He leads the league in that. You say he sets the most mediocre goals, and then we don't achieve those.
Hey, bro, listen. AK top 5 in lies. top 5 liar in the league, bro. Let's be real.
That's a fact. Hey, but that's the thing. He's not even an elite liar. Like at this, I don't know, bro.
No,
like,
he's top 5 liar in the league, bro. Hey, listen.
As far as the number of lies, like it's just this team is so frustrating, and it's frustrating because there is talent on this team that needs more balance on the rosters. There's things that we're missing, but there is talent on this team, and to see us continually, bro. We have lost 2 games to the Washington Wizards. We've lost now to the Charlotte Hornets. We lost to a Pelicans team. Yes, they had Zion back, but I'm talking about based off the record. We got outworked early in the season by the Brooklyn Nets. No matter how the wins against Milwaukee, wins against Boston, those don't hold truer to me than when you get outworked by teams that are actively tanking.
Yeah.
Actively.
No, listen, I said that over on the Breeze. The Chicago Bulls are the most outworked team in the NBA. Chicago Bulls are the most outworked team in the NBA. We talk about it in stretches every
George
single
Taylor
game.
said, hold up.
You said what?
He said the most outworked team in the NBA. I said, George Taylor said, hold up.
Hey, dog. That's nuts. Joy Taylor said, hold up is a wild bar for my second day back, bro. I wasn't prepared. I think here's my thing at the end of the day. Like when I look at this team on a consistent basis and you see just nobody who gives you, and dare I say, the only player that did was Alex Caruso over the past few years, who gives you that effort. How are you going to sit here and tell me that you're going to go out and win games versus anybody?
Yeah.
Like, you're not just getting beaten. And I think the thing is, you're showing the effort versus the top teams, and then your talent shows.
And people so often call it playing down the competition. We need to find another word for it for the Chicago Bulls, because I don't even know. Saying that they're playing down the competition doesn't even feel right to me. It's something more than that. I don't know what to call it.
Playing equal to your competition, because like,
I mean, hell, if they were playing equal, they would win more against some of this competition.
I think that's the thing, though, right? Like when you look at this Bulls team as a whole, it's like I can see the sum of the parts being talented. Zach LaVine is still a good player, right?
Yeah,
like
sure.
you see, and I thought Zach LaVine did some really logical things tonight. Nikola Vucevic was cooking. He had 40 points tonight. He balls out. He's able to go out there and dominate at every turn. I think outside of a really bad play design at the end of the game, you fed the hot hand the entire time. Dare I say, you did the things that you needed to do, but it's about doing them consistently. You know what? That doesn't start here during the season. That's not something you can pick up. That's not something a team meeting is going to fix. That's something that has to be done at the beginning. That's something that needs to be established in training camp. Just like MC Season needs to establish a better bank account so he can stop sitting in here telling these bad jokes.
He's been trying that all day, bro.
I know it's not working.
He's good people though. He's good people.
I tried to let him. I know. He be in my chat too. I tried to let him go, but it was 14 bad jokes in a row, bro.
Bro,
he missed it more than Arturas Karnisovas.
I don't know, bro. That's a hell of a bad
now.
How'd you when you look at this
percentage the same as LaMelo Ball right now?
That's crazy. When you look at this team, Pat, I know you're jumping back into the season. It's your second game back. Not to say you haven't been watching them the whole season, but it's your second game back having to talk about them. Do you think that this is realistically anything that they can fix this season? No. Or how much, I said, maybe that's a better way how much of this do you think can be fixed via this season and what they have on this roster?
No, this is who they are. Did you see the Casey Johnson tweet of the last 3 seasons? Yeah. And realistically, you could have gone to the last 4 seasons, but yeah, of the last 3 seasons of the Bulls, basically being the same team, they are who we thought they were.
They've had the same exact record at the same point in the season for the last 3 years, and it's really mind-boggling because you would think at some point you would get at least a little bit better or a little bit worse. I guess we can say he's consistent in that. He's consistently mid.
They are who we thought they were. They're exactly who we said they were going to be. And here's the thing. You keep running it back with the same guys and trying to change a few pieces and hope you're going to get a different result.
Yeah.
You're trying to change role-playing pieces. And guess what? The role players play their role. You swapped out Andre Drummond for Jalen Smith. Guess what? Jalen Smith does his job. It might be the fact that you don't have the guys leading the show being the best players on the team. Being the guys you need them to be in the moment. And listen, I give Vooch credit.
Vooch balled today.
Vooch called out everybody on the team and said, we need to play better. And the next game put up 40 and 13.
Mm-hmm.
I give Vooch credit. He's trying. I give Zach credit. I think he took a step back. Yo, it's your show. I'm out. Kobe played his game as well. This came down to terrible execution at the end of this game. And dare I say, this comes down to Billy Donovan just not being good in that moment.
There's a lot of moments Billy Donovan isn't good in. My brother, a lot of moments he's not good in. But we got to be good in this moment. We're going to have to transition to the next segment of the show in which we are going to be talking about and asking the question, has Billy Donovan lost the team? That's a question that a lot of Bulls fans are asking themselves. Get Pat's opinion on that coming up next. But before we get into that, we got to get to a message from Robin Hood. With Robinhood Gold, you can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. The privileges of the very privileged are no longer exclusive. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%, plus you also get 4% APY on your cash in your non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive your 3% boost on your annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing does involve risk. The 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from the first match. Must keep funds in the IRA account for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC. More Locked On Bulls coming up next. All right, Pat. Now that we've helped the broken save a little bit more money, man, let's go ahead and get into this broke ass team. I got asked this a lot in the live stream the last couple of games. I haven't really had a firm answer for it because I think it's a hard thing to really kind of put your pulse on to get a feeling. But I think now with the way the team lacks effort, things like that, do you feel like Billy Donovan has lost the team?
I feel like Billy Donovan is when you hear Billy talking to post-game presser, it feels like Billy Donovan is doing what the mandate from above is.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Go out and try to win. That last play call tonight was terrible. But it fits what it seems like the Chicago Bulls want to do. It feels like it is a team that is saying, look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. We can go out here and we can try to go to overtime. We can try to win this game versus Charlotte Hornets, or we can go to these dinner plans, try to win it now, and it is what it is. Okay, let's draw it up. We going for the win? Bet it up. All right, Vooch for 3. I think that the mindset of your coach has permeated the mindset of your team, but I think it's the mindset of the people up top.
See, and this was before you came back, so we didn't have a chance to talk about this. I don't know if you saw the interview in which Billy Donovan with The Athletic admitted, he said, we're in the middle.
Yeah.
And he said that, we're in the middle, and the way that we hope that some of these players could be or help us get out of the middle. We're trying to identify that. To me, I feel like Billy Donovan doesn't even believe in this roster anymore. I think he believes in the guys as a coach, but I think Billy Donovan realizes, and maybe not believe is maybe too harsh of a way to phrase it, but I think Billy Donovan is probably the most realistic one in the building on exactly where the Bulls are, exactly what the roster is, and he realizes I can only do so much with this.
But Haize, he's always been that guy. Remember year one, me and you sitting here telling people like, hey, bro, they wanted to well, we weren't here, but we were on our own platforms. Like, hey, like, yeah, we winning, but they're playing zero defense. There's no way they can maintain this. And Billy Donovan goes in the press conference and goes, yeah, there's no way we can maintain this.
I remember that.
We're not playing defense.
Yep.
There's no way that we can maintain this.
Yeah.
Go ahead. He's been doing this since the beginning. He's exactly who he is. And AK keeps going, nah, maybe you were different. And Billy's like, no, we're not. What's that TikTok video? No, you're not. No, you're not.
Yeah, I mean, listen, not to say that Billy Donovan doesn't have his own criticisms. He does as a coach.
100%.
We talked a little about that. But I do think that, like, you got to start reading the tea leaves here. And to me, Billy Donovan is basically like, you remember that stand-up where Cat Williams was like, he looks at Obama, he's like, it feels like Obama's trying to tell us something that he can't tell us. That's Billy Donovan, but he's actually telling us. He's just not coming out and be like, hey, y'all stupid if y'all think we about to make these playoffs.
Yeah.
That's basically what he's saying. If you read between the tea leaves, Billy Donovan is literally looking at Bulls fans like,
I think you said it, right? The Bulls believe they're who they are. The Bulls believe that they are a middle of the pack team. The Bulls believe that when things get tough, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why this is so tough. Watch how they play. Watch how they go about it. They always fall back. I've been saying this for 3 years now. They fall back into the same habits. Dang it. We gave the lead up. All right, well, let's start playing some of the worst defense of all time. Let's just start giving up backdoor cuts. Go down 10. Let's let LaMelo Ball drive directly at us and kick it out to a wide open man in the corner for an open three. Dang it. Where have I seen this before? And at a certain point, it's you have to break your mindset. And your coach plays a big part in that. I think Billy Donovan plays a big part in that. But again, I remember saying this before on Locked On. It's not Billy telling Josh Giddey, hey, leave that man wide open in the corner. That's a great play. It's not Billy Donovan telling Kobe White, hey, make sure you don't rotate down low. Leave that wide open. Slide in late. Get him an and one. The players got to make plays too. And realistically speaking, with the Chicago Bulls roster, you don't have the players that can do it. You have good players. Zach LaVine's a good player. Nikola Vucevic is a good player. Kobe White is a good player. They're not good enough to gel with each other. They've been together 4 years. Yes, they know like each other's tendencies, but it's not enough. They're good. They're never going to be more than that.
SB, we just got to accept it's time to rebuild. Let's go young. But he also said something about being in the middle. You know what? I wanted to spend some time real quick debunking this. The Bulls are not a middle of the pack team. We're a bottom of the league team. The only reason people look at this as middle of the pack is because the play-in's a thing. The Bulls aren't a middle of the pack team. We traded Jimmy Butler because we were a bottom tier team, and that team was better than this team. Like, we are not a middle of the. And again, I've had to correct my own way of phrasing it. We got to stop calling us. Saying that we're a middle of a pack team is a disrespect to teams that are actually in the middle. We're not middle of the pack. We're at the bottom end of the league. The only difference is that the play-in got created, and all of a sudden gave the 9th and 10th seed a chance to look at themselves and think that they're really doing something. We're at the bottom of the league.
Well, I'll say this. It's also the worst case scenario, right? Because realistically, middle of the pack is going on a 5-game streak. Now, I don't expect the Bulls to do that, but that's something that most NBA teams do at some point.
Except the Bulls. We haven't had a streak
except
that
I don't
long
expect the Bulls to do it. Again, they suck. But it's the worst spot because in AK's mind, we're right there. We go on a run. We're the 4th seed. We go on a run. What is it? But between the Bulls and the Pacers is a 5-game stretch.
I don't even know anymore, bro. I don't even know. I just want the Philadelphia 76ers
Listen,
to just start winning.
It is a 3-team Eastern Conference race. It is Cleveland, Boston, and New York. That's it. After that, I think the Pacers have 22 wins.
23.
Pacers have 23 wins, so they tied with the Bucks. That's the worst situation for the Chicago Bulls because AK is going to say, we're right there. We're just at the doorstep. You heard Kendall, well, probably not because you were doing your post-game show. Kendall Gill tonight sounds reluctant to trade people. He's like, when you see how Vooch and Zach are working together, man, it just makes you want to, I don't know, just hold on to him. I'm like, brother, maybe you need
Kendall
some
Gill
dye
has
in that
already
beard.
been on record before. He's held on to bad relationships with white women, so I'm not really. I'm not like I don't care what Kendall Gill got to say.
How you doing with the Ja Rule? What Kendall Gill has to say at a time like this?
Nobody cares what Kendall Gill.
I love you, Kendall. You wilding for not wanting to trade anybody off of this team because they had a 40-point game and some nice passes from Zach. I think he had 8 assists tonight.
today, yeah,
and a loss.
That's the key thing there. In a loss is the key thing there. It'd be different when we talking about in a win, man. This team, like, hey, welcome back, Pat. That's all I can say. Welcome back, bro. Welcome back. Yeah, right back in, man.
Shout out to AJ Ace. He says basically somewhat Dr. Umar is like a Kendall who, brother?
But we're going to continue, man. Next up, we're going to be talking about why it's time for the Chicago Bulls fans to actually embrace the pain, because I think this is going to get a lot worse before it gets better. But first, we got to get some message from a few of our sponsors. When I found out Skims was making underwear for men, I was intrigued. I've heard so much about their quality from friends and family, and now their men's line offers the same comfort and style they're known for. If you ever struggled with finding the right underwear, whether it's fit, comfort, or just the right style, Skims has you covered. Their men's line includes options for everyone from boxer brief to classic briefs, all designed with the perfect balance of comfort and style. And you can avoid getting hole in your drawers like MC season. The Skim Stretch 5-inch boxer briefs is a great choice for an active lifestyle. They're designed to move with you, stay in place all day, and never lose their shape. Whether you're working out or running errands, you'll love how lightweight and comfortable they feel, almost like you're wearing nothing at all. Shop Skims Mans at skims.com/lockedon and at Skims stores. Let them know we sent you. After you place your order, select podcast in the survey and select our show in the drop-down menu that follows.
Zion Williamson and porn star.
What? Stephen A., what are you doing here?
Also got to talk to you guys about FanDuel. From big upsets to game-winning drives, the NFL playoffs are better with FanDuel, because right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. The FanDuel app gives you everything you need for live bets, same-game parlays, and so much more. I've been telling you guys all season long. The fact that FanDuel gives you all the information that you need to place an informed bet on the same page where you place your bets, it just streamlines the process. Join FanDuel.com to join today. You get started with $200 in bonus bets. That's FanDuel.com. Make the playoff season unforgettable with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. More Locked On Bulls coming up next.
Calm down, Lloyd. You see that comment?
You know something more shocking than anything? The thing that shocked me the most to start off 2025. 2025. Did you know Vern has kids? Did you know that Vern has children? I'm
not
still
doing this
shocked.
with you. Hey, I'm off the show.
Is that all it took? Is that all it took to get Pat back off the show? That's crazy. The Bulls lose. They suck. But it's for having kids.
What? Oh God!
I'm just saying, bro.
What?
I'm just saying. I'm just a messenger.
All right. Okay.
Anyway, Pat.
Oh wow. Is this confirmed? Is this
it's confirmed.
Where's Cam at? Where's Cam to ask some questions?
Are your children in the room with us, Vern?
Who you? What Cam say? I need to see it. Who you?
Anyway, so the Bulls go out on a 3-game road stretch. They face Portland, LA, Golden State. After that, Philly, Denver, Boston, Toronto. Do you see this pain stopping anytime soon, brother?
Listen, I told y'all before the season started, before I left for my little hiatus here to have a kid. You
had the kid?
Yeah. Hey, listen, I didn't have it, but I was there. I watched.
You were in the room?
I was in the room. I'm a good father. I held her hand. I think I picked this team to win 36 games or 30, and they on pace for that. Halfway through the season, they got 18. They probably win 36 games. Like, no, I don't think that this team is going to be. I don't think they're going to figure it out. I don't think there's a path or a run that all of a sudden turns you into a different team. They are who they are. The only person who refuses to believe that is AK. You keep gambling, and here's where the mistakes have come in. You keep gambling on dudes that you expect to take a step. Nobody's stepping. If anything, Muggs is stepping backwards.
So they're moonwalking.
And then every time we see Modest Buzelis on the floor, he makes a play. And then they go, whoa, hold on. We got to sit that kid down. Get him up out of here.
Today for Modest Buzelis is crazy. That's criminal.
Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. There's this want to win. There's this want to be great. And yet you won't go out there and try and build something with players that are different. You keep waiting for this Patrick Williams step. Let it go, brother. You missed. You missed big. There's a lot of good players behind him. Like, I just, Bulls fans, if you haven't embraced the pain by now, like, yeah, I guess it is time, but you should have come into the season expecting this. What stretch of games made you feel differently? A random win versus Boston or Milwaukee?
Bro, the win, after the win against Milwaukee, I really wish you were around for there. The amount of people who were telling me and arguing with me that this team could get up to the 5th seed. I said, I really want to find their mothers and smack all of them. I can't do that. That's assault.
Hey, they're not wrong. The 5th seed is 23 wins. The East sucks.
Bro, they can't get up there. They're not going to get up to the East. We can say that. We can say that. But those teams are all considerably better than the Bulls.
Sure, I guess. All right. I don't believe in any of them. They all beat us. Hey, look, they all beat us. So I guess sure. Like if we're gonna say that for sure, like Miami beat us this year, right? Yeah, Miami beat us. Detroit has definitely beat us. The Hawks have beat us. The Magic have crushed us.
No, I think we beat the Magic the first game we played.
Did we beat the Magic first game?
Yeah, that's when Paolo got hurt. I think we beat them that game.
You might be right on that, actually. Yeah. But either way, listen. My point is the East sucks, and you're at the bottom of it. Like the wins, the loss, it doesn't matter because you're not getting enough of them. Yeah, listen. You want to know what happens if you beat Boston, Cleveland, the Knicks, and the Bucks every time this season? You got 24 wins.
Let me ask you this question before we end the show. 39 wins was last year. The Bulls need 21 more wins to get to their record last year. Do they get it?
No. Bulls might not break 30 wins. At a certain point, you got to pull it. At a certain point, you got to pull the plug on this team. No matter what it is. Bulls might not win 30 games this season. And that's, I mean, if you get to the point where you're 21-40 with 20 games left, nah. It's over, brother. Let it go. And by the way, they're not trading anyone either.
No. But and like I said this over on Central is that the Bulls have a realistic chance to keep their pick and not trade anybody. I'm not mad at that. But then again, it gets to the thing of, all right, so what is Billy Donovan going to do with another young player when he doesn't even play Modest Buzelis? Because then we're going to be talking about a top 10 pick in this draft that's playing 4 minutes.
I mean, listen, I don't know what the Modest thing is. Maybe they're scared he's actually good and you're going to lose the pick. Maybe this is a designed tank. Maybe this is we got to play him just enough so that he develops a little bit, but not that he's getting consistent minutes. I don't know what it is. It doesn't make sense to draft a kid that high and not play him. The only one of you want to know what's nuts? The only one of AK's picks,
Zaya,
who has been drafted high and played as P. Will. Dalen Terry's the least played 18th overall pick of all time. I guess I don't know if that's high, but first round pick. Modest Buzelis doesn't play. He plays every 3 games and shows you something phenomenal.
Well, Modest Buzelis plays a lot more than any of the other draft picks besides Io and P. Will.
For sure. But the problem is it's not good. That's a low bar to jump over.
I bet you Modest Buzelis has already played more minutes this season than Dalen Terry's whole entire. Miles Vucevic has played. I'm not finna do the math. I'm not finna count that. So never mind. We'll do that on the next episode.
It's bad, bro.
I'm tired.
It's bad. But it is what it is, man.
It is what it is, brother.
This is the team
It is
that they
what it
have.
is.
This is the team they want to run back. And guess what? We'll be back Sunday for another game. Stay tapped in with us.
Another funeral. Make sure you guys are following us at Locked On Bulls. You can follow me at CEO Haize. You can follow Pat at Pat the Designer. We are free and available on every podcasting app and platform of your choice, as well as YouTube, the Odyssey app, Amazon Fire TV. Basically, if you want Locked On Bulls someplace, we're probably there. And if we're not there, tell us. I'm sure we can get there, man. Before Pat the Designer, this has been Locked On Bulls. We out, y'all. Peace.
Peace. Get your NC